Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today is your Finance Director, Misty Dodge. We have already talked about the property tax bill, which you can check out. Great video. We also have the breakdown of just some common questions, stuff that it's basically a frequently asked questions piece that is included in your tax bill on the website, but it's fun to talk to you through some of these things. So we start with, as you're looking at this, this document, it's got the frequently asked questions, but it starts with the fast facts, and it's kind of nice to get a breakdown to understand where did we go, what happened.
Yeah, I love this section. I'm also a very data-driven person, so I think it's fun to see how those statistics change year over year, and it also really highlights that relationship between how your assessments are changing, how the tax rate is changing, how the values are changing. It's interesting.
We actually did a video combined with the assessing department that I encourage you to check out that kind of it broadly hits on some of those fast facts, but good to see you two come together and talk about these things. We start with just how to pay your taxes. There's many different ways of doing this, whether you escrow, come down and visit, or put it in the mail. It's all there for you.
Yeah. So escrow is obviously a very common way that homeowners in particular will pay their property taxes. Every escrow company is different, though. So some escrow companies send us the money directly, and then the property owner can just stay out of the transaction. A lot of escrow companies, though, will send the check to the homeowner, and then the homeowner has to bring it into the city of Fitchburg. So in that situation, it's important to look and see who the escrow check is made out to. If it's the city of Fitchburg and the property owner, they need to endorse it over on the back to make sure that we can deposit that into our account. If it says or, then they can just bring us the check or mail us the check, and we can deposit it with no problem.
And some banks do just directly email or send those directly to you, right?
Absolutely. At the end of the year, we get a huge box with
yeah. So if you don't
checks.
see it come to your house, then it probably went there. But you should check just to make sure that it does get paid. And then if you do want to come down here in person to pay your taxes in general, how can you do so?
Yeah. So we accept credit card payments online, so that's an option. Here at the counter, we accept cash payments only in person at the counter, and then checks can also be done at the counter or through the drop box.
And I would just keep in mind this year, too, that the hours did change a little bit. We're Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So keep that in mind if you're coming down here. A little bit different. It's posted on the door there, but you do have the drop box in the foyer. No cash payments. I say that on my show all the time.
Good.
You'd be proud of me. And then if you do the online payment, there is a fee associated with that. Why is this?
Yeah, so it's a fee that's paid to essentially the credit card acceptance company. So there's a percentage fee if you pay on a credit card, or I think it's $1 or $1.50 if it's e-check or an ACH payment out. The benefit of it, though, of course, is you get your receipt immediately, and it's just another payment method for people as an option. Definitely not required, though. If you'd rather avoid that fee, either mail us a payment or drop something off or come in and pay in person.
Fantastic. And that information is on the website as well, breaking down the credit card company and what those fees are. And it will ask you before you process it.
Correct.
So make sure you read the fine print there and understand that. Let's go over to lottery credits. And what is that?
Yeah, so the lottery credit is a credit that's available to homeowners that have that property as their primary residence. So many of our homes are primary residences and eligible for that credit, and it ranges depending on what school district you're in. Madison Metro is $270, Oregon is $280, and Verona is $320, reflective basically of the different taxing amounts for them. But we want to make sure everybody is looking at their bill. If it is their primary residence, please make sure that credit is on there. And if not, reach out to us and we'll make sure to help you get that filed.
And when you come on site to pay that, you can fill out that form here, right?
Yes, but it needs to be through a kiosk. So they changed that this year. So all of the lottery credit program is administered through the Department of Revenue at the state. It used to be a paper form that you'd have to print out and sign and all that. It is now an online system. We do have a kiosk at the counter. So if you want to come to the city, you can use our kiosk. We can get it submitted, and then we'll be able to apply it to your bill right away.
Fantastic. We're going to flip over to the back side of this and say what makes up your tax bill. And we kind of, again, talked a little bit about this when we broke down the tax bill, but I think the important piece here is the jurisdictions. That's what stands out to me when I look at the pie chart.
Yeah, so it's a relatively common misperception that even though the city of Fitchburg collects the tax amounts at the beginning of the process for sure. Only about a third of that tax bill actually comes to the city for city purposes. The bulk of it goes to the school district, depending on which district you're in, but then a portion also goes to the county and to MATC too. And there's a chart on the insert that just shows you that breakdown.
Yeah, and you saw some of those fast facts on the front side of it too, kind of breaking down on the city of Fitchburg's component of that pie chart. So it all comes together full circle. When are my taxes due? Super important here.
So in full, you could pay it in full, or you could pay it in installments. For most properties have that installment option. So January 31st is when at least the first installment would be due, and then July 31st is when that second installment would be due if the property is eligible for it.
How do you know if you're eligible?
It will show you on the tax bill.
There you go. All right, how do I change my address on or my name on my tax bill?
So the city of Fitchburg can't change any names on tax bills, and we can't change property addresses. So if you have one of those items that was either done in error or it needs to change, that needs to go through the county, through the Register of Deeds office. The city of Fitchburg can, though, change your billing address. So if you want your tax bill to be mailed somewhere else, whether it's an escrow company or you're vacationing down in Florida during this time, we can change the billing address for you.
All right, if you want to get a receipt.
Yeah, one of the best things. So last year we piloted a new software. I think we talked about that last year. And it was some hiccups, but overall it worked out well.
We appreciate your patience, by the way.
Absolutely.
It went really good. Yeah. Actually, it was really good.
Yeah, and so even this year too, especially if people come in early, we would hope that there's some patience with us too while we're trying to remember how the new software works.
Yep.
So overall, it went well. One of the biggest benefits of that new software, though, is that receipts are uploaded to Access Dane overnight. So if you come to City Hall and make a payment and we receipt it right there as you're standing there, you will be able to get access to your receipt on Access Dane the next day. That also applies to mailed payments. So it's 24 hours from when the city receipts it that all those receipts will be up there. Old software, they only went up twice a year. So it's much quicker access to that. Hopefully people can get them when they need them.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of a difference there, so you definitely enjoy that. Some people might be coming in and asking about how to get their dog or cat license. That's a finance thing, right?
It's actually a city clerk thing, and they transitioned to the OpenGov process there. So in the past, if you've been a Fitchburg resident for a while, you might remember there was a card in there about the license. That has all transitioned to an online process through OpenGov instead. And we've got the link on there for people if they're looking for that.
Yeah, and Clerk's Department will help you here at City Hall if you do have any questions with that, walk you through how to fill that online form. Finally, when is my garbage and recycling picked up? How does that make it on here?
Yeah, so on your tax bill in the bottom right corner, there's special charges. Most of our residential properties will have a special charge there, $232 per unit for garbage, recycling, and brush. They are making some changes this year, but did want to point out that the calendar is available on the website too, because we pick up garbage every week, but then it's every other week for recycling.
Perfect. If people have any questions, you guys are open to take any questions you want to answer them. We want to make sure people understand what's going on.
Absolutely. So you could come in, of course. You could call, email us. There's a lot of information out on the website. We also included this green box here if you have additional questions for us. And then we also tried adding a QR code to the insert for the first time this year if somebody does want to make an online tax payment. So if people use that, we'd love to hear if it worked. We're hopeful that it does. Trying technology.
I'm proud of you. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much for breaking it down. And again, stop by the clerk's office here and ask for Finance Department. They'll help you out. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.